Hello everyone, welcome back to Stylecast Jackson Hole. I'm your host Greta Eagan, and as you can see, I'm doing a solo show this month, which means I'll be featuring some of my very own Jackson gems and of course giving you tons of outfit inspiration. We have a great show lined up for you where we feature one of Jackson's leading ladies and get some of her style tips, plus how she stays chic and cozy during the winter months. And I even share one of my favorite places to go during the winter time. But first, I wanted to touch on a conversation that I feel like I've been having a lot of lately. And that is that everyone seems to be wearing the same thing. And that even when you save up and you pull the trigger on that investment piece, it suddenly loses its luster because it's everywhere. Everyone has it. How do we break away from this? How do you create a wardrobe that really speaks your style and doesn't look like everyone else? Well, this next segment might just have the answer for you because we do visit Matteo Perrine, who is an Italian designer, moved recently to Jackson, opening a store and studio, and he works with clients one-on-one to make bespoke custom pieces. Now, I think that that is the key to this new wave of wanting to move past same fashion and really create a wardrobe that speaks to you and shares your own style. So let's take a look and see what Matteo has to say and how you too might be able to work with a designer like this. Matteo, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Greta.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Well, you are what I am calling a new and true Jackson gem.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
We like to highlight people, places, and products that are based here in Jackson.
Okay.
And with the opening of your store, I really just wanted to get in here and highlight you, your story, and then of course we're going to get into your clothing.
Okay, wonderful. I love it.
So let's start with your story. Just give us the quick version of who you are and how you came to be the incredible designer that you are.
Well, quick story, I guess, would be that I was fortunate to grow up in Italy with good connections of my grandmother, who were actually, really prolific tailors. And so it really helped me see what I wanted to do. And one of them, actually, he was in Rome. He was the one that pushed me to design instead of actually doing the sewing myself. Because if you're sewing something, that's all you're doing. If you design, you can really expand your mind and create, different products. And that's why I like to do a lifestyle collections instead of just one, specific item. Yeah, so it kind of evolved when I was very young, and at 14, I just started exploring, my passion instead of working on reading books and, like studying.
Wow, so you were drawing. Where did you get your inspiration from?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, one of the funnest things I used to do is paint on jeans and actually draw pictures and things on blue jeans. And, as a kid, you just take really inspirations from many things. Obviously, I used to do cartoons a lot.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, just, animals and, flowers and, things that made me happy, so.
And then it sounds like from there, it really has evolved into a luxury brand.
Yes, yeah.
So what was that transition like, and for you maybe the milestone where you kind of grew up into the role you're in?
It took some time, because obviously when you're young you like to do certain things. But I saw a change also for me where I started, I didn't want to wear certain things anymore and I wanted to look more presentable. And so I just, I evolved. Obviously, in the world of clothing, if you can figure out how to do tailoring well, then you kind of have the key to design anything. People don't realize it's a lot of mathematicals, like details. When you design a jacket, there's a lot of math involved on the proportions of things. And so I've always actually been good at math, so it really helped.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Who would know that being good at math equates to being great at designing
clothing. I mean, it's just, it's all proportion. Otherwise, that's how something fits a certain way. Once you know how it works, you can actually play with it. So if you want to do an oversize, you know how to do it, and so that's, the pattern making, it's very important. And, that was also something that I did go to do some, schooling about, because you can draw anything, but if you can't make the right pattern, it really doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't translate.
Right.
Well, you definitely don't have a problem with that. Yeah. I mean, all of your pieces, the way they fit, those design details, and I think that's what I really am excited to highlight in your clothing, is those design details make all the difference. Yeah,
I mean, to me, at this point in life and what, with the offerings that are in the world, the details is really key, because I mean, I always joke with people. I say, you can buy a pair of pants anywhere, you can buy a sweater anywhere, you can buy a jacket anywhere. It's just like, why do you fall in love with something? Because of the details, because of the cut, the way it fits you, the way it just becomes part of you without even, just knowing. It just, falls a certain way.
Yeah, and then it's about how it feels, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I do like to stress the point with people is when I design for someone, specifically like privately, so like I create a bespoke outfit for them, I want them to be as comfortable as they are and not have to think about anything else. Sometimes you get dressed, you put things together, but you're not sure if, not everyone is fit like a model, male or female. So it's like, oh, I don't know if my little chub is showing here or there, how's the jacket fitting, when I sit, when I stand. And so I just tell people I like to design to make sure that they feel comfortable so they can be themselves, and this is kind of like their armor. So they put it on and they're superheroes and they go and be themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, we're definitely going to be showcasing some of your looks and seeing that superpower in action. What I really want to ask you next is about coming to Jackson Hole.
Okay.
How you came here and why you've decided to stay. And then that kind of leads into our next question, is how has being here influenced how you're designing now?
Okay. Well, honestly, I was, my kids are growing. I have 3 children, and I was trying to give them a better idea of a future. To me, America has always been where you can make your dreams come true, because they did for me. So, and so I wanted to give them a better experience, a larger experience in life. We come from a very small town in Italy, and so you kind of only get exposed to some things. And I know it helped me evolve, getting exposed to more things. I've been traveling since I was 14. So anyway, that was one. We didn't know where we were going. We were looking at different areas, and then I had some, I don't like to call them clients, but some friends that I was doing their wardrobe. And one day they said, we're in the mountains, so why don't you come meet us here? So I came here for a fitting, and I started looking around, and the second I landed, I was in love. And so 1, 2, 3, 4 times, it just became like, this is a beautiful place. And I felt safe also for my kids, where we can, I can just let them, hey, walk around town without worrying about things. And so we just decided to, move here and then, expand, open a store. And yeah, so that's actually how we showed up in Jackson.
Very authentic. I think a lot of people have that aha moment flying in with the Tetons. I mean, landing in Grand Teton National Park is kind of an amazing thing, a way to enter into Jackson. But then I'm really curious about, because your aesthetic, it's so classic and it's such a high quality. These are forever pieces that people will bring into their wardrobe. What I really like about what I'm seeing when I look around the store is that you do have this Rocky Mountain aesthetic that you have incorporated in. Is that a natural sort of evolution, or was it always there?
Well, I will say there's a little piece that was always there. I grew up, obviously in Italy was really famous when I was growing up, the spaghetti western movies. So it's actually, it's funny, like a bison or buffalo, however we want to call it, has always been my favorite animal. you know, and it's just, I just have always had a passion and love for the West. So that's, you know, a little piece of that has always been, because I feel like if you're going to invest some money into pieces, I think they should be evergreen, you know, and you should actually add to your wardrobe, you know. That's what I do with the people I take care of. You know, it's not like we have to buy everything now. It's just, you know, I know exactly what we've been doing the last 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, and we just add to their wardrobe so they can actually put things with something that we designed 3 years ago or 5 years ago, you know, going forward. I feel sometimes like if you focus on fashion too much, I mean, you can blink and it's gone, you know. So I do have some of those people that do ask me, like, can you make me something super wild and fashion and crazy for the next season? And it's very fun, but at the end of the day, I get a lot of personal, you know, like gratification by doing things that people can use and have. And, you know, some of the jackets I've made are heirlooms, you know. I've had, you know, clients who passed who, you know, gave the jacket that I specifically made for them, asked me, can you alter it? Because I'm giving it to my son, to my grandson. You know, so to me, that's, you know, that's special.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this feels like a good segue to get into how you do work with your clients, your friends.
Yeah.
I know they become friends because it's a relationship.
Yeah,
you really do invest in that relationship. What does it look like to work with you to create these bespoke pieces and even, as you mentioned, start to create a bespoke wardrobe?
Well, the main thing, I like to at least have an idea of who the person is, like where they're going, what their life is about, you know, like, so that's, you know, very key, because that way, like, you know, when you're designing specifically for someone, that's the key, most important factor. Who are they? Because again, I like to design for them, so I wouldn't put them in colors that I don't think they look good. I wouldn't put them in outfits that are not going to be flattering, because to me that would be a disservice, you know, for them.
Wow, so you're taking into account their colorway, you're taking into account their body type.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, exactly, because, you know, I mean, you know, everybody's shaped differently. And so I think, you know, if you design something that flatters them, they're going to look good, you know, all the time, instead of designing something that maybe also they don't feel super comfortable in. So normally, you know, I start with that. Once I have that in mind and I know, like, let's say they have a specific event, or they just need to redo their wardrobe. Maybe they lost a lot of weight, or maybe they changed their lifestyle. They're not in business anymore. Now they're, you know, more enjoying life. And so I take that into account. I start designing the outfits that I think they need, the staple pieces. And then I go through fabrics. And, you know, it's a process. Like, we sit down. It's like when I say somebody designs their home. You know, I mean, obviously, it doesn't have to be so complicated, you know, but it's just, okay, let's look at this. This is a good color palette. So if we have a blazer here and we want to put pants and a jacket, and then you can want to use this casually also, how can you do? And then, you know, we go through the fabrics, and then I take measurements and, you know, get going. You know, but after I have measurements and everything, it's just very fast. I need 2 blazers, I want to add something, and, you know, then it's easy.
What I like what you've said is that you can start with one piece.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking about, okay, these are some other pieces, and maybe through conversation, you're identifying some gaps that they might have in their wardrobe.
Yeah, exactly. I also, you know, it's not like I go, oh, you're working with me, throw away everything you've bought. Sometimes I go, okay, so you're, you know, rebranding, refiguring out who you are as a person. Okay, let's go through your closet. Let's keep the items that you love, you know, because who am I to say you gotta get rid of them? If you love them, good. Let's work with them, you know, so, because there's so many other beautiful designers that do great things, so.
Of course.
I'm not the guy that tries to get rid of their wardrobe. I actually want to enhance it, but, you know, with pieces that they also like and have made for them.
So in the process, you've talked to your clients, you've gotten a sense of who they are, you've sketched some things out, you've looked at materials, and then what happens next?
Well, what happens next is I design everything and I bring it to my, you know, very, very super qualified artisans. A lot of them have worked with me for almost 20 years.
And they're in Italy?
Know, they're all in Italy, they're all Italians, and some of them are the best that there is.
As people are thinking about building their bespoke wardrobes,
Yep.
what are 3 pieces they should start with?
Well, again, we are in Jackson, so I do think a suede trench coat to me for a woman is a killer. For a guy, it could be a beautiful leather jacket. Okay, you don't want to wear a blazer, okay, you know, or it could be a beautiful leather blazer.
It has that kind of, that cut of a blazer.
Yeah, it just has that look. It keeps you, it says, you know, I'm put together even though I'm casual.
Yeah, it's very Jackson, love that.
Know. And otherwise also, I mean, I do have my idea of my cowboy boots who are not as high as the American cowboy boots. Again, I don't try to beat them, but I have designed some cool, you know, boots that I think are beautiful. And also, I think a good piece that I love, so I love materials, you know, honestly, like a beautiful just wrap, you know, cashmere, you know, top, which could be different lengths. You know, so obviously longer would be, you know, kind of like a coat, but in between it could be like a little short jacket, you know, and things like that. That's, you know, to me is like a staple, you know, in a wardrobe.
Yeah, so versatile, and like you say, so good for Jackson.
Yeah, and I think also because, you know, the temperature changes, like you're in the mountain. You know, I spent a lot of time when I was young, because my father was a rock climber in Italy, in the Dolomites. So, you know, in the morning, it's colder, the sun comes out, you're like, oh, I'm hot. But that's why in Italy, you put your your sweater, you wrap it here, you put it over your shoulder. At night, you could put it back on. It's just, you know, you have things that can work for, you know, during the day activity.
Well, one other thing I want to mention, because that's one route, and I love that. And,
Yeah.
I'm excited to try that. Is that you have a lot of ready-to-wear pieces in the store that you will tailor, and sort of, you know, make sure I don't know if you would call that made to measure, but you tailor them.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, there's so many words that they use, you know, now. Honestly, most people I find actually, unless they have a certain age, they don't even know what bespoke means. And to me, I grew up with it because, you know, my great-grandfather was from 1899. That's all he had.
Wow.
Back then, you had things made for you.
That was what you did, exactly.
You know? So that's why I like to do bespoke, because you really create for that person, you know. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ready-to-wear items that I do, obviously in sizes. So we try to put the person in their best size, and if we need to make any adjustment, then I take care of that too. You know, to make sure that that piece fits them, you know, as well as it can.
Yeah, and I love that because it's sort of, you know, you have kind of 2 tracks that you can really go down with you, but you're always going to come out with something that fits and feels amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, at the end of the day, the goal is that the person is super happy to wear what they're, you know, what they either bought that was already ready or that we made for them. So.
Well, we're going to get into some of the looks.
Okay.
What we do here on Stylecast is we provide outfit inspiration based on the weather and the aesthetic of the Rocky Mountain West.
Yeah.
We've pulled, you and I, we've pulled 5 looks that we're going to feature. I'm really excited to get into that. But before we do that, one last question, just about how you live your life. What sort of style advice would you give to someone else, or maybe something that you received along the way?
Okay. Well, I think like in somebody's life, everyone should have a blazer. To me, that's, you know, and I tell you something, you know, people, because I have conversations with people all the time. And it's like, well, I want to dress down, you know, I don't work anymore, or, you know, I don't want to, like even here in Jackson, I'm showing blazers to men, they're like, well, I don't wear a blazer. I said, okay, well, I go back to something that I think happened many, many years ago, where if you respect the other person, you know, the people that you're going to meet and see, I think you should be presentable. So I think a blazer, it should be in everybody's wardrobe. And then always, you know, you don't have to wear a tuxedo to go to, you know, to be in Jackson. You don't have to wear a suit, but you can still be casual. But, you know, like to me, it's a respect factor. My, again, great-grandfather from the 1800s stressed that into me many, many times. It's a mindset. You know, sometimes like I even have guys who are like, well, I just want to wear a t-shirt now and, you know, black jeans. Okay, well then have a good t-shirt and have a good pair of black jeans. But if you're going to a meeting, wear a blazer. You know, I give this example. So you're in a restaurant, okay? A man comes in. baggy jeans, you know, blah, 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 just not put together. It's okay. A man comes in put together, people turn around. It doesn't mean he wants to be noticed. It just, you know, the aesthetics actually grab your attention. You know, same thing with a woman. You know, if she walks in and, you know, she loves herself and she just knows she's put together, the aesthetics will just go like, wow, okay. You know, it doesn't mean you have to love what she's wearing, but it's just, you know, aesthetics to me are very important because that's what has, you know, people we get attracted to. You know,
it feels like quite a personal thing to work with someone on their wardrobe. It's such a big part of your identity.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like a therapist?
Sometimes people say more things than I like to know, but you know. But anyway, like part of the process for me, it is personal because you are helping, you know, like I'm actually like helping them have a better life, you know, in a small way, but I feel it is part of what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and also like that's one, also other things like even creating like the ready to wear, it's still, because when I think of them, I still think, okay, who could be wearing this? You know, so it's not, you know, obviously it's not maybe the right perfect color, the right perfect length for someone because we could make it better for them. But it's a great way for someone to come in and have the instant gratification of like, oh, I have a beautiful piece, I'm gonna walk out with it.
Yeah, yeah. And also working with you, if they find a piece they fall in love with, but it's not the right color, then you can make it in the right color.
Yeah, I've done that many times with people. They try on something, they go, my God, I love this. But I don't know about the color, I don't know the length of the sleeve. And I said, don't worry, let's pick this color, let's do this length, and boom. And then they comes in and it's perfect for them. It wasn't bespoke, but it's very close.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Well, you've been doing bespoke, as you said, basically your whole life, and you've been inspired by it. How do you see it moving into this modern day?
I actually think that there's a revolution coming because, you know, people also more conscious of, you know, waste and, you know, those things. You know, if somebody understands that they have to wait a little bit, but they have something that is made for them, that they actually picked, you know, the stitching inside, the details, it's like, I mean, you know, it's not like we're running 100 miles an hour every day. You can wait a little bit, you have your perfect things, and you have a great wardrobe. You know, that makes you happy when you're wearing it. You know, so to me, I think it's switching more in that direction, you know. And I've seen it. You travel, a lot of even the famous, you know, brands have less items in store because you just never know what size somebody's gonna walk in with. Like, you have this, you know. So that's why, I mean, I try to show a good offering of sizing, but then it's like, okay, listen, if you wait 3 weeks, you wait 2 weeks, you wait a month, we'll have this made for you. And, you know, so I think it's gonna move in that direction even more personally.
I think so too, and that's why we're so excited to be highlighting you and the beautiful clothing that you produce. Let's get into some looks, shall we?
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Wow, can we just talk about how beautiful those pieces are? And you guys, Mateo is such a sweetheart. I really do hope that you stop by the store and that you may even get a chance to work with him. I know I would love to do that. In fact, let's talk about it for just a minute. What are the 3 pieces that you would start with? If you were gonna do a bespoke wardrobe or start to create some bespoke pieces for your forever wardrobe, what would those pieces be? I think for me it would have to be that denim shirt. It's just such a classic, and to have one that fits your body perfectly, that sounds amazing. I also would love, honestly, I think it's a tie between the Duster suede trench. I mean, that piece is pretty iconic, or the sort of short cropped one with the fringe. I know that fringe tends to come in and out of style, but here in the Rocky Mountain West, I do think that that is a forever staple. And the last piece would have to be those leggings. You guys, I cannot tell you how many times I have ordered and sent back leggings in the search for a perfect legging because I want something that is a little more upscale. It's not part of my athletic collection, but it still gives me the silhouette that I'm looking for, which is slimmer on bottom. These leggings, he nailed it. So I have to say, those would be the 3 pieces I would start with. I'm curious, what would be your 3? So you may have been waiting for this moment where I actually reveal one of my favorite places to go cross-country skiing here in Jackson, and it's Stilson Ranch. Do you guys know about this little stretch? It's in between where you go towards Teton Village instead of going to Wilson. There is a stretch of land that is groomed and free. I don't know how often they groom it. It seems pretty often. Every time I go, the track is great and the dogs are allowed, which I love to take Yoshi and get some exercise. There's always parking. So this is definitely one of my go-tos. It takes about a half hour to ski out and back. And if you wanted to add a little bit more time, you could add on a little loop that they do. It probably adds on another 10 minutes so you can get a nice workout in. Plenty of parking, fit in that workout, get outside. That is my little Jackson Gem place highlight for you on this episode. So here at Stylecast, we like to highlight Jackson Gems. As I've mentioned, those are people, products, and places that enhance your life. They're based here in Jackson. And I wanted to give you the backstory on where Jackson Gem came from. So when I was younger, my girlfriends and I were dating, we would give that term to a individual who we felt was actually above the cuff, that they rose above, they were exceptional, and they were a Jackson Gem. And we said it as a Jackson Gem because you just never know. And I think that's the beauty about Jackson, is you can go into the Snake River Grill, sitting at the bar, sitting next to someone who is wearing a jacket that has a tear and they put a little bit of duct tape, or maybe now a no-sew patch, over that tear, and you just don't even know who you're sitting next to. They usually wind up to be very interesting, very cultured, and sometimes very well-to-do, and you just would never know. And so these Jackson Gems are just hiding all around, but now that I'm a happily married woman, I have shifted that term away from the dating, just to apply it to people, places, and products here in Jackson that I just find to be really exceptional and want to highlight because I know that they enhance my life and that they might enhance yours. So that's kind of the fun backstory. I thought I'd just give that to you as a little aside in this episode, since it's a solo episode. Now let's move on to our next segment, where this woman is definitely a Jackson Gem, and we were invited into her home. She shared a few looks with us to get you through the winter season and shared a few tips on what you too should be adding to your wardrobe as a Wyoming woman. So let's take a look. Today we're doing a very special edition of our Stylecast. We're doing a closet tour with outfits of what to wear with Geisha Haas. Geisha, thank you for inviting us into your home.
I'm so honored to have you.
Geisha is the founder of Dreamers and Doers, and that is a community for women entrepreneurs, and they offer a PR component, so it is awesome if you are a female founder, an entrepreneur. And I have had a girl crush, a style crush on Geisha for years, it's true. I just think that you epitomize that Jackson woman style that is still tuned into what's going on outside of Jackson, beautiful brands, but also has that Rocky Mountain aesthetic. We're gonna jump into some looks, you guys, and she has curated 5 looks for us. We're also gonna talk about some of the pieces that you love and why. So pay attention because you might wanna scoop some of these up. Okay, Geisha, so I am so excited to have you on, and I wanna know, how would you define your style?
You're the first person who's asked me. At first I was like, maybe it's mountain eccentric or mountain eclectic, but I actually think it's mountain disco.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So what does that mean? Like, and what elements contribute to that?
Yes. So I find, especially living in a place like Jackson where it's cold and it's cold for a long time, it's really fun to obviously have the mountain vibe, but I really like spicing it up and adding some flair by having like some sparkle here and there, by having boot cut or big boot-like pants and just like adding something that makes me smile during a long winter day, but also brings a smile to other people's faces. And I think that's just this perfect combo of this groundedness with a little bit of disco flair added to it.
I mean, it is amazing. And let's just jump into this look here with the sequins to highlight that. So this is a going out look, right? This is something you would wear if you were going to dinner. I mean, look at these pants. Look at these amazing pants. And like you say, you wear these and people smile. I'm
like
sure.
Literally, like people will stop me in the middle of the street or in the store and just be like, and with the biggest smile and just be like, great pants, or like, this just made me so happy.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. Okay, so what would you pair with this? I'll hold this for you.
So this is a Proenza shoulder top. It could be any black top because the pants speak for themselves. So I would want something dark, but not something, I mean, it's impossible to take away from the pants, but just something that is pretty basic on the top and then let the pants speak for themselves.
That makes sense. And then what sort of shoe are you going to pair with this, do you think?
I like either cowboy boots, and depending on the time of the year, I sometimes wear moon boots with it.
Oh my God, so fun. And then I have to ask, because obviously it is so cold here and you mentioned the winter, what do you put as your overlayer that kind of doesn't detract from this but kind of keeps it looking still put together?
Yeah, so sometimes I will wear something black as well on top that is just like an added layer, or it would be like a dark vest or something. Yeah, and I like wearing like a cute coat that I could keep on, maybe even a winter coat.
Exactly. Love it, love it. Okay. The other thing you mentioned are the wide leg pants. You have a pair on now.
Yes.
But I know you also have a pair you want to show us. So let's go into that next look. This is what you would wear. Tell us more.
During maybe meetings, if I have a lot of meetings and bouncing around town, maybe or even on Zoom meetings, so you wouldn't get to see the amazing pants. So these pants just make me so happy because they just add a little bit of fun. You can kind of see like.
Oh yeah, that is a nice flare at the end. Yep. I like the wash on this too.
Yeah, it's
do you
really
find,
nice.
and it's like a versatile, like you can wear it spring, summer, winter.
Yeah. I mean, I've only had it since the winter, but I think this works for any time of the year, which is nice in different climates. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, and then what would you pair with these?
So I really like this shirt, which just kind of fits with the coolness of the winter. But still has a little bit of personality and style.
Are you tucking it in, or what do you?
Half. I usually
little half tuck
half
in the front.
Of it in.
Yeah.
And then I really like this hat to go with it, which has like different elements and textures. It has a feather and it has some stitching at the top. And especially if it's a cold day, like it nearly looks like I'm bringing the sunshine with me.
Oh my gosh, look at this stitching. I mean, that is amazing. And sorry, where did you get this hat?
Actually, originally from Etsy, but I think now she doesn't sell it on Etsy anymore. It's a brand called Petra Savage.
Okay.
So it's a female hat maker.
Yeah. Well, that is one of the things that I remember from you is all of your hats. Whenever I see you, you just like head to toe. I think the hat is like a signature for you, right?
For sure. And I think also being a mom is just so nice. Like sometimes you don't have time to do your hair and just like putting a hat on top just completes the look and makes it so put together.
100%. Okay, moving right down the line. We've got everything lined out here. What's your next look and where are you going in it?
Yes, because it's easy to say that every day I'm like dressed to the nines, but many days I'm actually in workout gear just because, you know, being a mom or just like life. So that being said, I always love really poppy colors and I always love matching sets. And it's ironic because I actually get lots of compliments on my workout gear. So this is one of mine that I love, which is, you can hold this one. Actually, this is the top.
And the zipper is in the front?
Yes, there's a zipper in the front. zipper here.
And zipper in the front on there
It's
too.
a really fun color.
Yeah.
And then you could nearly call this a disco jacket. I got this actually from a local store called Altitude here. That's right by Town Square. But I like putting that on top. And then even if you am maybe working out in the morning or in the evening, and I run around town all day still with the workout gear, it kind of just works, and it's a really fun outfit that doesn't necessarily scream that I just went to the gym.
Yeah, no, but and you're right, especially living in Jackson, we're always trying to fit in. The whole reason why we live here is to be outdoorsy and get that exercise in and play in this beautiful surrounding playground that we have. So I feel you on this. This is me a lot of the time. Yeah. And then what shoes? Obviously, these are what, just like your sneakers?
Yeah, it's just workout shoes. I mean, it depends. Like, if it's really wintry out, I'll wear my moon boots and then wear sneakers when I'm in the actual class.
Oh, I love that.
So this, you can imagine how fun this looks on moon boots. Like, definitely Disco Mountain.
Disco Mountain. I love that. Yeah. So next look, I asked for you to think about something. What would you wear to an event here in Jackson?
Yes.
There's like a specific kind of style. You want to be dressed up, but not too dressed up.
Totally.
It's like a balance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So take us through what you hold.
So this is actually something that I wore at an actual event. It was our 10-year company anniversary. And what's really cool about this too is there is Meg the Egg, who organizes this amazing secondhand swap that benefits nonprofits. And I got it from one of her swaps. So I purchased it there. It's a Diane Furstenberg dress. And I just love it. And it's definitely like the mountain disco vibe where it's like understated, but it has all these stars on it. So classy, but it also works for various temperatures. You could wear this maybe in the winter or in the summer. And yeah, you can dress it up and dress it down. And I just think it's so fun.
Yeah.
And it's also so fun knowing that there was another Jackson woman who used to own this and wear this. So
Yeah.
it's like, I love that it has some history.
Oh, I love that too. And I feel like it is totally your style. I'm so glad you got this one. What shoes are you wearing with this?
I've worn these light cowboy boots with them. And this is another second-hand Jackson Hole story. The Virginian, which has been so fun these days and have been having lots of events. They had a stand there, so I bought that second-hand there. So, and I think they just work so cute with this or with like pants, but it's a great Jackson Hole love story for both of these items.
They're both such great finds, and I love that you're highlighting that you actually can get these pieces here in Jackson.
Totally, yes.
Yeah. So before we move into the last look, we've been doing it throughout, but I did just want to get a sense for you, like what does it mean to be a Jackson woman and how has it shaped your style?
Yes. So living in Jackson, obviously there's the temperature element, which can vary a lot. In the summer, it's warm in the day, but very cold at night. So there's a practicality with everything in Jackson. I also think there's just this classiness and like understatedness as well. So being a Jackson woman is like finding items that are versatile, that go with the tones of nature, because we are so lucky to not live in a concrete jungle. And have things that will also work with if we're going on a hike maybe, or if we're just going over icy roads. So both being practical, stylish, and then because the winters are so long, for me personally, adding that special flair that just makes everything a little bit more fun, which can sometimes be details like even painting your nails. So because like accessories, can really make such a big difference. I feel like in Jackson more than like other places.
Definitely, and you build up those key pieces that you just always reach for, and then they just make the outfit come together.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, let's talk about this outfit. It's like a bonus outfit for you guys because it's so cute. We want to talk about it. This sweater, I love the little crop sweater. Just tell me all the things.
Yeah, it makes me so happy, especially now that we're in the middle of winter or coming to the end of it, but just like having poppy colors, and I think that it actually works really well because it still has like earthy tones. So bringing the sunshine in, bringing the warmth in without it being like nearly like odd, and then bringing some of the disco, different like decades in, and then I paired it with, styled it with some cowboy boots, which these come actually in a ton of different colors.
Oh, they do?
So if you like these, you can, actually Free People sells this, and Boot Barn in Jackson also sells these.
Oh, good.
So you can get them in nearly any color.
Do you shop in the Boot Barn?
Very rarely. So this was one of the only things I've purchased online, and then I picked it up there, and they come in different heights. So
yeah, I haven't been in there. I literally since I was like 14 probably. but I'm like, that is a good tip. That is a hot tip to go in there. Yeah, I love it. We've both got like our little metal tipped boots going on.
Yeah, so cute. And I've gotten actually my kids really cool cowboy boots from Boot Barn.
Okay. Yeah, good to know. Last look, what I wanted from you is an outfit. You mentioned it gets so cold here, and it really does. How do we stay cute and stylish and still stay warm? Take us through it.
Cozy and chic. So I love this brand called Blue Salt, which is an American brand, American made, female founder, and they are just so cute because they have, I have this in 2 different colors, but you could probably buy it in 10 different colors, and I have probably like 6 different tops. So I can mix and match it in so many different ways. I have this in turtleneck, I have this as a cardigan with like cute cleavage, and I just love that. I feel like the moment you have a matching set, there's something that's polished about it. So I've worn this for like a cozy day. I've even worn this for date night, and I think it's so cute when you layer this on top. And I've been enjoying Poshmark and have just found like all these vests that are so cute. But since you mentioned cold, I'm gonna let you hold this.
Yeah, let me hold this.
I'm gonna show you like the fun boots and jacket I'd wear with this.
Okay, amazing.
How cute are these boots? These are also a great Poshmark find. These are moon boots from Chloe, but they're just so fun. There's these like Sherpa on top, and the colors are just so cute. And I work with the
they
browns.
Are amazing, and
so
I love the tonal thing you have
right
on here. Yes.
And then this jacket, I get so many compliments on it, and it's interesting because no matter what we wear underneath, like you will in the winter always have a jacket on top. So getting a really cute jacket matters so much because that's sometimes what's most visible. So I love these details of like it has leather patches. So yeah, it's a really, and then the Sherpa, so it kind of nearly matches with the vest and the shoes.
Yeah. Well, mission accomplished. Chic and cozy.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you did it.
You did it.
You did it. My husband is so funny. He always complains that I have so many jackets, and I'm like, but you need all these jackets because the weather changes and you need something to go over.
Yeah. But otherwise, you always look the same. In some ways.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. I feel vindicated. Thank you. Geisha, thank you so much for having us. And before we close out, I just wondered, what would you say are the 3 things that every Jackson woman should have in their closet?
Terrific question. One for sure, and you might not be surprised, a hat. Because it just like helps bring out it works with any outfit. Then really cute cowboy boots. You can't live in Jackson without having cowboy boots. And while I'm tempted to say jacket last, I'm actually not going to do that.
Okay.
And actually just say like one piece that's just so fun. It could be something like this that just makes you smile. And just like adds a little bit of like a mixture to the day-to-day and the nature and the earthy tones.
So it's a little bit more of a standout piece that just
exactly,
like, as Mary Kondo might say, brings you joy.
Exactly, a standout piece that brings you joy. You nailed it.
Okay, well Geisha, thank you again for having us. We will have everything linked below so you guys can follow her and you can check out Dreamers and Doers. Thank you so much for having us in your home.
Thank you for having me.
2 words for you, mountain disco. I had not had those words put together before, but I absolutely adore this aesthetic, and Geisha, she is so amazing. You probably could feel her energy coming through the screen, or at least I hope so. So thank you again for joining us for this month's show. I hope that you found it entertaining and useful. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to show your support. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.